So I want to work on my image editor today, and something we were talking about yesterday is that there's a lot of error defers kind of kicking around in our image editor, and those things are largely untested. So if I go to kcov index HTML and I just kind of look at coverage report of our linter script, right? And we click on anything in here, there's a large amount of red blocks around error defers. Oh, Christoph, thank you for the raid. What's up, guys? You caught me just as I started. Perfect. Hello. So yeah, a lot of my program just is error defers. Boo, scary. Because if I typo something in here, it's basically completely untested, and if anything ever goes wrong in my app, it seems likely that those problems will cascade into some worse problem because I just fucked up some I did a double freeze somewhere, right? That just seems really likely. And so yesterday we were playing around with the idea of we were playing with what if we could inject error cases, right? And that's a way to test the problem, right? You can force errors to happen, which lets you test the error defer blocks. Andrew's asking, do you know about failing allocator? Which I do. Yes, it just wasn't really what I wanted because the failures are not always caused by memory allocation, right? I kind of wanted something generic. You could do something where you have failing allocator, failing IO, failing GL, right? You could kind of make failing versions of everything and hook them in, but I didn't really want to do it that way. Also, because I don't really think that that's the right answer. I think the right answer is just deleting the error defers, right? You just get if you don't have the error defers, you don't have the problem, right? And so I think it's possible to do that if we assume, which is a reasonable assumption for now, that the vast majority of our error defers come from freeing memory, which I think a lot are. If we just say, hey, you don't have to free memory down there, free memory up there, then you can kind of just have your error case and your happy path case be the same, right? If I have set file type equals zig, if I'm some top level function, and in here I'm for I make some arena, right? What is that? Heap arena allocator, blah blah blah, init alloc or something. What doesn't really fucking matter. And then I go we do some stuff later. We're gonna say some arena dinit, right? And then we go try init my stuff with my arena allocator, right? Now all of a sudden, whether or not this succeeds or fails, we do the same thing. No matter what, we're gonna free all the memory at this point. So if we just make it so that our error case kind of bubbles up here, and all of the fucking error defers that we have to free memory go here, it's the problem just goes away. The problem just goes away. So that's what I want to work on today. I think that I want to tackle I want to poke the GUI framework first. The GUI framework seems like the place where this is the worst offender. We have tons of code in the GUI framework that's a pain in the fucking ass. If we go into the color picker, I think has a good example. We have a lot of blocks that are this shit. We have all sorts of blocks that look like this. Where we make a label, and maybe if something fails, we deinit the label, and then we make the drag widget, and then maybe we deinit that, and we put some things to the property list. And just this, all of this just becomes so much simpler if we fix that. And then also comes with benefits where we can set limits on our memory allocations, which we can say hey, for initialization, if you go over 100k, that's a fucking problem. Don't fucking that. We fucked up. Right? And then we can maybe do stuff lock the allocators, where we can say hey, this stuff is you can initialize with this, but don't fucking use it later. And if you hold on to that, that's a fucking problem, right? We can do all sorts of stuff like that if we design our stuff that way. And yeah, I got kind of hooked up, I think, on the idea that the allocator is a generic interface, but we can just say that we take a generic interface that we expect certain properties of, and that's all right. Anyways, that's what we're gonna work on. Thank you. Error defer comp time unreachable is crazy. That sounds sick, actually. All right. So that's the plan. Thank you again for the raid, Christoph. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good stream. And I think we just jump in. So I think if we start, okay, first of all, maybe we should show you guys what the thing is that we're working on. Did we build it? We did. And maybe we look for this. So this is our image editor, right? We can like, the idea behind this guy is supposed to be that you can like kind of generate anything that you want through OpenGL, right? So I have like a circle shader that is like kind of user provided. And like in here, we can do stuff like we can change the color, we can change the size, we can like make it blurry, whatever, right? And then the idea is that you're gonna go and like make some sort of composition of these things, and you're in your composition, you're going to be like, I'm gonna have like, you know, this picture with this circle, and then I can like kind of like take this circle and I can like, you know, replace her head with a circle or something, right? That's kind of the idea. And then like, because of the way that it's designed, you can come in here, you can like change the fall off of this thing, you can kind of like make it more like this, and you come back to the composition, and like those changes are immediately applied. That's kind of like the idea of the image editor. So yeah, that's what we're working on. And let's just this GUI framework is like part of that, and I think we'll just fucking run it. I name my params what I expect, e.g. arena, stood mem allocator, or GPA stood mem allocator. Yeah, that makes sense. When I saw that pattern before, I kind of thought like, I thought that they were just accidentally naming things wrong. I was like, this doesn't have to be a GPA, it can be anything. Why are you calling it GPA? It's great. It triggers a compile error if errors happen past a certain point in a function. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Pretty cool. Because the error defer block gets like compiled out, I guess. Otherwise, I think stood JSON is it. Yeah, that's pretty sick. All right. So I think we start with GUI framework. So I guess we look at like main and look for like GUI. Where's like okay, where do we like make our GUI? What's like the top level here? App widget factory GUI here is probably the start. So we make a widget factory with some allocator. So I guess we just start with like making some sort of like GUI arena. You know, just to start. Just to start. And I guess this guy gets GUI arena allocator now. And hopefully, I mean, I'm sure that we have to be careful here. I think that if we do this incrementally, it's okay. I think. We'll find out. I think that if we just do everything in the widget factory uses the arena, that should be fine. Do we want to name this? Probably. Probably we want to name this like, you know, something that's just like widget alloc or something to kind of indicate that we expect this to be used to generate widgets for the lifetime of like the GUI. And I assume that somewhere we might have some like scratch space stuff later that is going to use a different allocator. I'm kind of okay with that. Widget alloc seems fine. Yeah, we can rename everything in here. That's fine. Okay, so this guy's a widget allocator now, and then I guess we should be a little bit more careful about just like rapid replacing these, huh? Label, yeah, all of these are just like generators of widgets. Widget generator, widget generator, widget generator. Maybe we kind of just run it for now, and as we find where we want to remove like dinits and error defers, we might be able to like narrow in. Okay. So these guys are also using the allocator from the widget factory. I guess the assumption here is that we just don't need to dinit anything here. If we're like making some sidebar out of some widget factory, the widget factory allocator is now some sort of like long-term widget allocator. So I think we just kind of start deleting these things. Assuming that like the sidebar, assuming that all of the dinit functions here only like are worried about memory, which is, I think, true. This is very memory focused, yeah, so we can get rid of that. Sure. Hello, we're moving arrows today? Yeah, you just get them away. Get them out of here. What's going on here? This is the stupidest. Oh, it's because there was an air differ here. I was like, this is the stupidest block I've seen in my life, but it's because it had a reason to exist before. Okay, sure. Fuck this. Okay. Uh, this push or dinit widget might go away eventually. But I think it's okay if we leave it in for now. I think it's okay. I think the idea here is that if we happen to still dinit something with this arena, that's okay. It doesn't really hurt us. But we don't have to, is I believe the current state. You can specify error out of memory for return, and if the compiler won't complain if it means if the compiler doesn't complain, it means there are only memory errors. Yeah, but it's like a generic interface, which makes it kind of a pain in the ass. It's fine for now. I'm not really worried about it. Okay, so anything we make with the widget factory, we just don't have to worry about. I'm pretty sure. Okay. This push needs the widget alloc, I guess. Boom, boom. And then we have kind of the same problems here, so we can kind of just do this. Oh, these are scoped because we're reusing names, sure. That's fine by me. That's fine by me. We'll come back here later, probably. I think eventually we'll remove this like push or dinit widget shit. But we'll come back. Okay, a few more. One more error defer that's useless now if we're using the arena. Another error defer that's useless. Wow, it makes everything so much better. Error defer, widget alloc, error defer, widget alloc. Okay. We're gonna have to be like a little bit careful about reviewing all of our widgets to make sure that they don't do anything actually important. But they shouldn't. Why would they? If they do, that's probably a bug. Boom, boom, delete. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All of this is already looking like way better. Yeah, this is hype. I guess this kind of goes like this. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Dude, I didn't expect this to be so hard to get compiling. I guess it's because I renamed the allocator. But it's okay. Because what I really want to get into is the OpenGL stuff is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But we'll get there. What's going on here? Update object properties. This is on our sidebar. What's going on here? Okay, so we have to be a little bit careful here. Because it seems like in this sidebar, we are kind of like probably regenerating widgets on the fly. So we do have to be careful about this because we probably need like a sub arena for this thing or something. If every time we change objects, we nuke and regenerate a bunch of widgets, the memory associated with those widgets needs to die. Yeah. So I think the vast majority of the time in the GUI framework, we're doing like make this button, and this button will live here forever and ever and ever, right? He's just gonna like live here forever. But in our case, sometimes we have like, you know, in the sidebar, actually we could probably just show it. Like when I click these things, or like I go here, what's actually happening is like this entire property view down here is getting like completely regenerated every time it changes. So it means that all of these widgets need to have like a chunk of memory that like deletes itself at the same time, right? So I guess this sidebar abstraction, whoever's doing this needs to like feed the widget factory when it makes stuff. We kind of need to feed it like we need to feed it the arena that is associated with like ourselves, which for the most of the time is going to be like the general one. but it kind of makes me think that we need to like refactor this stuff to just take in, yeah, to like take in the right allocator. So it almost makes me think that like stashing this allocator is wrong, because we don't really know which allocator we want to use when we generate widgets. We do know that we want, for all of our like state, these like shared state stuff, where like, you know, the checkbox has a like OpenGL renderer that is shared across all instances of the checkbox. This we know needs to live for the lifetime of like the program. But the individual widgets will have individual lifetimes that we need to associate with the right thing. Yo, 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 what's up, two-step? Always jamming in here. Only when I'm not in YouTube mode. But I need to update the playlist soon. It's getting a little old. It's a lot of I'm hearing the same shit too many times. Dude, I say that, but I think that when Good For You came out, I think I listened to this like maybe like 500 times. I think like probably on that order. And I'm just like, oh, I'm getting kind of bored. And it's like, dude, come on. I just like it. I like it when she says good for you. You know? I like that part. Channel needs more Latin music? Maybe. I don't really like it that much, is the problem. Okay. So let's start here. Let's start here where we just don't stash the allocator. Surely that's the right answer. When I'm in the zone, I'll repeat the same song for hours. Yeah, I do that. I get like really like excited about the same fucking song. Okay, so I guess that kind of means that like every single one of these guys, oh, it's gonna be such a major pain in the ass. It's gonna be such a major pain. And what if we do it wrong? Can we kind of limit the scope of this change initially? Maybe we should think about it that way. Okay. We go again. I think we do make a GUI arena here. Okay. But we have to make sure that this shit stays compiling as much as we can. So maybe we do this one widget at a time or something, where like who's gonna be like the least kind of spread here. Maybe we try to do this on like who's using make drag float. I think that yeah, not a ton. So maybe we start here. Start here. Whose allocator are we gonna use here? So fuck self allocator. We use this allocator. Then this guy's gonna get pissed because everybody tries to make one of these guys gonna be like, where am I gonna go? And so we said that the sidebar, since this is updating object properties, where is this called from? I think in main. Yeah, so every time the app kind of changes its composition, its like item list, we call update item properties. So it kind of makes me think that like this, we need like an arena here. Kind of is how I'm feeling. Okay. And then where does this like handle come from? Where the fuck? Sidebar handle is called from make sidebar. Make sidebar does all this shit and returns a handle here. So I guess, do we just throw like an allocator here? Maybe. And then that way we can have like sidebar arena. But like, I kind of want to make sure that it's clear, like, what this is for. So we need a better name for this. This is like resettable, like sidebar. Content. Yeah, how I want to do this, I think, depends on the implementation of arena allocators. What is a free do in these arenas? So we have like a free list in the arena. So it's like correctly tracking frees. Oh, I don't really want to listen to this. I just wanted to listen to Good For You that one time. Yeah, so it's like kind of fair. You could split off like a sub arena from here and it would work okay, probably. So maybe what happens is the sidebar takes in the GUI arena allocator. Because kind of like conceptually, the sidebar is like, the sidebar itself is going to live for the lifetime of the GUI, right? That kind of makes sense. But then here, it's almost like we want to make a like resettable removable content is going to be like something like this, right? We don't really know. We're going to like, and because this comes from the GUI allocator, we don't have to free this as long as we kind of write that down here. I don't know. It's fine. Okay. Now, what we actually want to do is this arena should be heap allocated so that it has a stable memory address, because everybody below here, people like there are going to be people here that use the arena allocator. I think it's fine actually to do it inline, because the tracking stuff will live on the stack here. We will take this like arena allocator and like this points to the thing on the stack, right? I guess it depends on if any of the widgets stash the allocator, which they might. And so I guess we should just kind of be careful about that. For now, we'll just do it this way. Maybe later we'll find out that we will kind of design the widgets so that they don't hold on to the allocators. But let's just do this. Zig Zon PR is on auto merge. Let's go. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. Zon. What does auto merge mean? Oh, like as a suit, like if it passes, then it merges. I see. What does this do? So this just gives us a like a Zon parser that doesn't require like. Don't we have a Zon parser? I guess we have like an AST parser for this thing. Yeah, I see. So now you can parse this at runtime from your own app. That's kind of sick. It's kind of sick. It means Zig 014 allows importing Zon files plus a runtime Zon parser. Oh, that's pretty hype, actually. That's pretty hype. Okay. So I guess here we create a new arena allocator. Removable content, alloc. Boom. And then here, now we can I guess we'll call this the arena. And then surely this makes its way somewhere. I guess the handle probably holds this thing. I guess this could even just hold the allocator. Really, that's kind of allowed, which is kind of interesting. Because we can kind of just like drop this pointer. We don't actually have to care about it anymore. Because he's living on the GUI arena, which will eventually kill itself. Which I'm not allowed to say on Twitch, probably. it'll off itself. Probably not any better. But sure. It's kind of fun. Okay. So surely this guy needs to make his way somewhere. Probably, I assume that the way that this is set up, it's that the stuff in update object properties is the stuff that can die, right? Specific object properties. So the question is specific object properties written to by anyone before this? So no. Okay, cool. So I guess here we just say, oh no, okay, so here we actually do need the arena because we need to be able to reset it, right? That was kind of the whole point of this thing. Okay, so this guy needs to be removable content arena is stood heap arena allocator, boom, with a pointer. Then this guy is removable content arena, that still works because I did the wrong thing before anyways. On update, we reset the arena. And for now, I'm going to do retain capacity, but maybe come back to it. Maybe we should set a limit. Which means that this doesn't need to happen anymore. I guess it kind of means that this guy... It's almost like we just want to regenerate him. At this point. No, because he's created with the other allocator, actually. You created with this allocator, so that kind of makes sense. Sure. Okay. So now... God, it's so confusing working with both idioms at once. But I think we got there. So... Okay, cool. So now... Make sidebar is... Wait, what's he pissed about? What's he mad about? Expected arena allocator? Why? Am I stupid? It takes an allocator. Oh, GUI arena here's cons. I see. Okay. Okay, what else is going on here? Okay, so now we have like this make drag float. This is the whole point here. So this guy now in the sidebar uses self this guy. Okay. Also is going to use this, so I guess we could do like removable content alloc is removable content arena allocator. Boom. And this becomes removable content alloc. There was another one. Boom. Okay, property widget generator. What is this? This is related to add shader params to property list. So this guy wants like property list alloc, I guess. How many words per minute can you type? We can play Typeracer. Anyone want in, baby? I want like, where's like play with friends? Anyone want in?
If you guys want in, you can jump in, but you don't have to. I was just like, it's fun to play. It's a fun game. All right. I'm gonna start soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I can't start. Why not? Oh, here now I can. All right. Is it going? Oh, I see. We have 10 seconds. I see. I see. Suffer long is like the dew on the ground. Ah. Both the heart and the ground absorb that benefic. Jesus, I don't know these words. Okay. That was 98. 98. This guy got 104. He beat me. Some of you guys are struggling. Yeah, but like around 100. Around 100. Okay. Stood, mem, alligator. Dude, I used to play that game all the fucking time. Like, I played it in university during class, which in hindsight is really fucking annoying, and I shouldn't have done that. But I played all the time with my friends. What a fun little game. Okay, so when I make this thing now, I say that the allocator for this thing has to be the alloc here. And this guy surely takes the removable content allocator. That was fun. Yeah, it's a pretty fun game, huh? I like it. And so that means that now when we create whatever the dragger was in this guy, we can use self property style. Okay. All right, make drag float. Is that all of them? Yeah, I think so. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Where's this? This is in the sidebar. Removable content allocator. Boom. All right, that's looking promising. It's actually giga hard to type another language. Muscle memory to native language is insane. Yeah, I mean, I was finding that I was really struggling in words on there, just like for things that for words that I didn't recognize even. What's happening here? What's happening here? So looks like I'm probably using the wrong arena somewhere. It's the only thing that really makes sense here. But I don't really understand why, to be honest. Yeah, that's actually quite surprising. Oh. We do have to initialize our allocator. Arena alligator init sidebar alloc. That's a really good point. Okay. So now I guess what I want is I want to make sure that like this shit ain't leaking. You know what I mean? Is there a way to like query the like how fucking full the arena is? Can I ask this guy query capacity? Queries the current memory use of the arena will not include storage for internal keeping. So capacity is kind of like size here. Okay, so it'd be interesting to like graph this over time to make sure I'm not leaking. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun. So where would we want to do that? I guess this is like a GUI app.
So having somewhere the ability to like click a button and be like, show me the memory usage of this thing. Like even just like a debug button somewhere that could draw it as like an overlay would be kind of nice. I just don't really know where that would live. Maybe it's just like a hotkey. Like a hotkey that we click somewhere that says like turn on debug view. Um or it could be like external. But sure, we could do a hotkey. We could do a hotkey. And what does the hotkey do? Like even like a second window might make more sense, to be honest. It almost makes sense to spawn a second window that you can just put wherever. Because it's not really like part of the app. Can we do that? Like we have GLFW, we have like this like GLFW abstraction who creates a GLFW window. Like GLFW has the ability to make new windows. Maybe that's the play. Uh, GLFW create window. Yeah, I guess we just call that shit again. And then we attach all of this stuff to windows, like key callbacks, cursor callbacks, etc. So I suspect that this stuff kind of works. Yeah. But I guess our like kind of like main loop is based around one window. We have this like swap buffers. So this is like while we're not closed. So we could just do this like main loop while the main window's not closed, and then we could check if the like debug window is closed, and if that's not the case, then we're chilling. Uh, Jesus. Maybe for now, let's think about that later. And for now, just add like the data side of things. Um, dude, where does it even go? If I want like something that's like track memory, I guess FIMP is kind of like the catch-all for everything. Yeah, this is kind of it feels like it doesn't really belong here, but I guess fuck it. Do we make like a new library for this? Like like memory debug or something? That seems so silly. I guess it's fine. What the fuck did I just do? I can press tab here and like tag stuff. I've never done that before. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think this belongs here, but it's fix me. Find somewhere to put this. But we can have like memory tracker. And this is gonna be like we're gonna what if I want to like graph this shit over time. I think we like register arenas. Probably. We probably do like we have some sort of like name. And then the arena that he's associated with. Probably. Pop-up overlay widget seems a lot simpler to show than adding a second window manage. Yeah, I think that's true. Oh yeah, yeah. We could just like huck a overlay. We could push into the overlay on hotkey and then just close on click. Yeah, I like that. I do like that. I do like that. That's a good idea. So I guess this is a pointer probably. I assume that this could be const. Query capacity. Yeah, query capacity can be const. Cool. So what's gonna live in this thing? We're gonna have like some probably modifiable list of items. And like what's in an item. He's going to have some sort of like samples. I guess if we want to like graph over time, we're going to want to like take a sample and put it in some sort of like array. Probably usize, like this. Right? And then we're going to like index and then capacity, or like yeah, we can do it like this. We can do it like this. Okay, so when we register this thing, we're just gonna be like, we have self is self, or what are we gonna call this? A memory tracker. Okay. Sure. I guess register is gonna go up towards the top. So is init, probably. And so this guy's gonna be like, I'm gonna use some allocator for this thing. We're gonna be like, return a thing. I think this belongs here. Okay. This can't fail. It's literally just like lms is equal to stood array list item init with the allocator. Boom. Okay, cool. So when we register, it's just like self lms append. This item needs a name. Arena equals arena. And then we have like step. I don't know. And probably we want some sort of like sample rate, right? Which I guess we'll say do this like every sample period ms, I think is reasonable. Yeah. Sample period milliseconds. U32 probably is fine. Surely we're not going to want to go over like a few thousand. And I guess num samples here. I guess it needs to be compile time. So fuck it, we'll hardcode it. I don't want to split this out into like some sort of like function generic thing. It's a pain in the ass. Okay. So we have this memory tracker. And what do we do here? So, dude, my brain. For each element, I guess we take in now. And we say if now is greater than now since last sample. Can I initialize this with something that's like just like 0? You could probably get away with 0 initializing this thing. Probably. It would be kind of sick if there was like a never before. But we could also just do this. We could just do this. That's fine. Okay, so then we have last sample to now. If now since last sample divided by stood time nanoseconds per millisecond is greater than self sample period, which means we need sample period here, I guess. Uh-huh. Okay, if this is true, I guess if it's less than we return, that makes our lives easier. We go for each of our elements. What are we gonna call this? For each, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We go. I guess we 0 initialize these things would be nicest for us. I don't know why I forgot to put the arena in here too. Okay. So yeah, here we want like samples is equal to num. I don't know how this shit works. If you like append this big ass thing to like if this is large and you're appending to an array list and I do like samples equal to 1 0 times num samples or however the fuck you do this, if I do this, like does this create like a mega copy here? You know what I mean? Which version of this is it? 013? Like, I don't know if it's better for me to resize and then memset. That would make sense. I would like that would be understandable. I just don't know. I just don't know. My assumption looking at this would be that it does this on the stack and then copies it in. And then maybe gets optimized out in release mode or something. That would be my guess. But it's fuck it. I mean, 100 isn't that bad. In 14, it's dot samples equals splat 0. Sure, but I mean, that doesn't really change my question, right? It doesn't change my question of if this blows up stack size or not. My assumption is that it would. But it's fine. Doesn't matter. 100 elements is nothing. Okay. Sadly, Mug left us. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Okay, so we query the capacity. And we just say lm samples at lm idx is equal to this. And then we say lm idx plus equals lm index plus 1% num samples. Simple. Okay. And then I think that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Okay. I wonder if it makes sense to go backwards. Hold on. If we want to like graph something that goes like this, right? Over you have like something and you have like this is most recent and this is the oldest. You want to go, yeah, you want to increment. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Cool. So then we can probably also make like something that extracts this thing in the right order. So in here, I guess we return like ordered elms. We'll just kind of split it in half. Yeah. And then we can get ordered elements out of this thing by returning ordered elms. And this is literally just like, so we have like index is here. Index is literally the next thing we're going to push. So we go index to the end, then the 0 to index. Yeah. Yeah. So it's, fuck my brain. Self samples from self index onwards. Second is the other way. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So now we have like a way to kind of peek at our arenas, and now we just need to make a widget that shows this thing. So I guess this belongs in Svimp UI. Where does this belong? Like memory, I guess. Okay. If you use samples %100, won't the graph wrap back to the beginning? Do you want the graph to just shift as reps? Oh yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. It's the same thing, right? Wrapping back or shifting is the same. It's just like depending on how you look at the data, right? You don't have to look at it beginning to end. You can look at it like relative to the wrap point. Two steps that I thinks he's right about. I'm right about the like resize and memset. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, how the fuck do we make a widget again? So like, what are we gonna do? We need to like draw a graph, and we haven't like done that yet. So it seems like probably a completely new OpenGL program to do this, which is like fine. Maybe we start here by just making a. We'll start by like popping up the widget, I guess. So, can we copy? Can we copy another widget in here? App widget. Right. So we make like a widget v table, and then we implement those functions associated with it. Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. So here we can import std. We can import svimp. We want svimp memory tracker here. We want the rendering library for sure, and the GUI library. That all makes sense. And the UI action also makes sense. Okay, so we have like ourselves are like I guess this is kind of indicating that like this can just be the widget itself. This could be like memory widget. Probably .zig. Okay. So we need const memory widget is equal to this. Then all of this stuff turns into memory widget here. Okay. We don't need this big comment. Input state, probably null. We don't really need to handle input here. Update, we're probably going to have to update our graph based off of the current memory widget state. What are you working on? Well, I'm trying to delete error defers from my program, which means that I'm trying to use more arenas so that like lower like individual memory allocations, I don't have to worry about cleaning them up. And so now I'm like, okay, if I'm using this arena, I want to make sure that I'm not like leaking memory. So we're writing like a little visualizer to visualize memory usage in the app. The widget does need to be sized. He does need to render. He probably will need to init, and update he's gonna need to update. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So now I have to just implement these things, I guess. So what, we go like delete till the colon, find the parentheses, paste it, go back, delete a couple words, and then go to the end and make some squiggle braces. Okay, cool. Okay, so this guy, D in it. I guess it depends on how we create this widget. So this thing is probably going to return a GUI widget of UI action. Who's going to have some sort of allocator associated with him. And he's going to create some context. So he's going to say like, okay, let's make a pointer. So we're going to be like, create myself. And we're going to assume that this is using some sort of like long-lived allocator. And I guess we'll find out. So then what? Like what happens after this? We need to return a widget, yeah. So context is context, sure. And then vtable is widget vtable. I'm pretty sure that's how this works. Yeah, okay. So for now, deinit actually might do nothing. And okay, this is GUI, pixel bounding box, window bounds. So when we render this thing, we're going to have to like, we're gonna have to OpenGL render a quad that's showing. We're probably gonna like, we're probably gonna be like, we're gonna have like a line, a bunch of line segments. Sure. That's a really cool line segment here, which means that probably we're gonna have like some program that we're running. And I guess that can come from renderer. So we have some like render abstractions in here for like OpenGL programs. We have a generic shader program that takes in arbitrary vertices, and then we have an XY UV plus transform. Where you can pass in an arbitrary fragment shader, I think. Which one fits a little better? I guess we're not going to use UV coordinates in our thing. We're probably just going to like, render, how do I call this? Dude, my brain. We're probably just going to render the lines. So shader program here seems a little nice. So for now, let's just try to get like a red box somewhere. I think that's probably the play. That will be easiest to prove correctness with. Okay. I assume that we're stashing our size somewhere. So maybe we do that here. And presumably on update, we just kind of try to yoink, we try to consume as much space as possible. We need to cast ourselves. So self is a memory widget is equal to pointer cast, align cast of context. Boom. Then we can do this. Okay. Maybe before we get into like the OpenGL program stuff, we do like can we just like scissor ourselves to the window bounds or to the widget bounds? Yeah, so we can do like var const scissor, var scissor. We like deinit this later or reset, and then we set to the widget bounds. We need to go from the window bounds height, because the coordinate space is inverted, so we go height minus bottom is where we are relative to the bottom. Question, if you don't mind, how do you decide the types in your program? Like when you say I'm creating a struct, when do you say I'm creating a struct for that? It's just kind of like vibes. It's just kind of vibes. I think like a reasonable approach here is to just like start by not doing it, and when you start to find, like when you start to see pain, then you can split stuff out, right? You can kind of like look at your program and be like, oh, these few fields are being manipulated together a lot, and they're kind of being manipulated in the same way a lot, so it's kind of nice to split out a function to work on those 4 parameters at once. And passing in the 4 parameters at once is kind of a pain, so we might as well make them all in like 1 parameter. And then like, I think it just kind of naturally happens, then you start to get like intuition on when that feels good and when it doesn't. That's my take, at least. Yeah, okay, here we go. I will say I remember struggling with this as well. Like I went to school and they taught me about like classes, right? And I was like, when the fuck would you ever just use a class, right? I'm like, why don't you just use like a function and like pass things in the function? And then later you kind of realize that a class just is that. A class saying like a do something, right? This is exactly the same as do something a, right? Exactly the same. Like at like a fundamental level, this is what is happening in the language. And so it's just like, oh, we just have like free functions where you just want to pass parameters that are grouped together. That makes a lot of sense to me. But I remember them teaching me about like cat class and dog class. I'm like, I don't get it. When the fuck would you ever need this shit? Like thinking about it from like object-oriented programming is just like, I find it harder. It's just like, yeah, you just like have stuff and you want to put the stuff somewhere. I never really worked on big projects, so having a hard time deciding when to abstract something. Yeah, other people will disagree with this, by the way, but my take is just don't do it until it hurts. Like, just do whatever makes sense, and then at some point you'll naturally get there. So can we just like make the screen red here? Can we do like GL clear, GL color buffer bit, and then we say like GL clear color 1 0 0 1. Okay, so this should make it red if we ever get here. And then later we'll figure out how to like actually do something interesting, but let's just like get the infrastructure to get the widget up first. You'll encounter moments where you do things that'll feel weird. That's when you start investigating what to do. Yeah, exactly. Then you learn about classes, object abstraction, and you start using them everywhere, and then revert to using them when it's only when it's necessary. Yeah, exactly. That's the arc. You're like, ooh, classes are great. Use them for everything. And then you're like, wait a second, classes are kind of shit. And then you stop using them, or at least like not in the same way. Yeah. All right. Casey Muratori's semantic compression essay is broadly speaking good on the start. Yeah, I've actually seen that one. He calls it compression oriented programming. This is a banger. I would recommend. I think everything he says in here, I just agree with it. Yeah, it's just good. I didn't know that like there was like, I mean I think he made the name up, but like I'd never like seen it eloquently expressed, but that's what I do, right? You just try stuff and eventually you get somewhere, and he like puts it into words that I think are understandable to someone who hasn't done it before. Okay, I haven't really made much progress. Somewhere, we need to add a way to turn on the debug view. I don't think we have like the ability for global hotkeys right now, to be honest. We don't really like, we have like widget hotkeys, but we don't have like global hotkeys. But I guess we could just do it here, actually. Yeah, there's no reason that we can't just look at the input state and decide to do something with it. So I think we can actually just go here in the main loop and go like If like probably we look over the keys. Like this. And what are these things? Frame keys are key events that will tell us if we've got like key down or not. Do we have any like tracking of like control keys and stuff? We have key down events tell us if there's a modifier. Perfect. So we can just look for if key control, I guess. Is this just a boolean? Yeah, it is. And key ASCII. Is this like, oh, I have to check. And key ASCII is equal to D for debug. Can we just do like std debug print, like asked for debug widget? Okay, that's sick. Okay, hell yeah. And no matter where I'm clicked in there, we get that. Okay, so now all we have to do is when we click that button, we take the overlay, which exists somewhere. I guess it's like in the widget factory, weirdly. And we set this to be some sort of widget. So I guess we have our... It would be nice, actually. I guess the memory widget gets like fed into the overlay and is like created with the lifetime of the overlay. So I guess here we should actually... I guess we can do this the old way for now. We can just say here we have like an alloc. I think we need to cast this to the right thing. Okay, so we like make a new widget at this point. So that means we need to like get the memory widget. Oh, interesting. Import svimp UI memory widget zig. And so now we should be able to be like, memory widget is memory. I mean, it kind of feels like, honestly, we create one memory widget. It would be kind of nice to do it this way. We make one memory widget off rip. And then we just have like as widget here. And this returns, I guess we'll just, this is just as widget here. Yeah. This makes more sense to me. Then this guy returns a GUI widget UI action like this, chilling, C checks itself, boom. No D in it, boom. Okay, so now we can just have like one memory widget that we like create off rip. Just like memory widget is equal to memory widget. Probably like this. We probably need like an initial size that's like width 0, height 0. Then when we press a button, we can just be like, set this to memory widget as widget. Boom. Yeah. Member function expected 4 arguments. What does this guy want? He wants an allocator for what? Inner. Alloc. What is this allocator used for? Oh, just for denuding the widget. I see. So this doesn't really fucking matter. That's fine. Doesn't fucking matter. Okay, so the widget and then X offset and Y offset. Sure. Okay. So now when I press Control D, can you explain widget factory? It's just like a helper function to make widgets. Okay, so pressing Control D makes it red, which is pretty hype. It's like, it's where I stash all of the like shared state for all of our widgets, right? So like the text box, or maybe a good example is like the text renderer. So the text renderer requires us to like load a font file and have some like OpenGL thing sitting there, and like a way to like or like we do like distance field rendering as part of the rendering process. So we have like a couple like OpenGL render programs and stuff. So every time that we want to make like a label, we have to pass in that shared state as well as like an allocator and stuff. So the widget factory was like a way to just kind of say, we need somewhere for all of this like shared state to live. We'll stick it in there, and then it will like automatically propagate where it needs to. So the overlay is kind of part of that shared state, where like an overlay is passed to like the whole system. And it's just like a kind of weird spot for this to live, but it is where it lives for now. It's fine. Okay. So now we have the ability to render something. Now I guess we want to do something with that render. So let's try to make some incremental progress here and try to stash a program in this thing. Okay, so we're gonna have like, we need some vertex type for this thing. And a uniform. I wonder if the uniform, probably for now, we'll just say empty uniform is this. Okay. And our vertex is going to be probably something that just has like X and Y. Probably. Probably as one thing though. So probably something like this. We need our math library for our vector2 type. Okay. Something like this. Then we can like write an OpenGL program. So can we just probably our uniform, is it gonna have a transform? Probably. Probably. It's probably like this. Probably like this. Okay. Okay, so let's write our program. XYV UT. We can copy this. So we need some vertex shader. He's going to take in no UV coordinates, but he is going to use a transform. He's going to transform the position and then do that. Okay. And well, I guess we'll make a fragment shader. Which I think I saw an example in like here. We had like image frag. Yeah, here. Okay, so we can, where the fuck are we? Where are we? Here we go. We are just going to output white for now. Okay. So we can hopefully successfully run this program. Hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, so this is going to take in some, we're gonna have to like initialize the program here. So we take the vertex shader and the fragment shader. Okay. Does this thing do anything else? No. Okay. Then I guess that means that we need a D in it, which will eventually go away, but for now, we can't. The existing D in it needs to be D in it widget to avoid the conflict in name. Okay. Okay. So I think it's just like this. Boom. Cool. This thing needs to return a memory widget. And now we can go back here and defer memory widget D in it. Boom. Simple, easy, peasy. Okay, so now I guess we probably have some sort of like buffer that we want as well. I think it's like this. I think we have this, yeah, buffer of vert. So here it's like we need to upload some vertices to render with our program, which means that our program, I think there's like a way to like make buffer or something. Make buffer, yeah, which takes in some initial data. And so I guess our initial data is going to be nothing. And then we're eventually going to have to render something. So maybe for now we'll make a buffer that's a triangle. So he goes, you know, bottom left, bottom right, top middle, so 0 in X, 1 in Y. And then can we just like run our program? If we run our program, then we should see a triangle in the middle. I guess we need like, I think we can do this. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, missing field program. Right, so when we make our memory widget here, this thing needs to be initialized. Then he's mad that make buffer doesn't exist because I guess generating our program can fail. Okay, yeah, so these guys have to be individual vertices. So this is v pause equals this. Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now when I press Control D, I'm hoping to see a white triangle. Hell yeah, okay, big for us. Huge. Which means that now we can just start rendering the graph. My mind has been opened. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that guy's got lots of banger takes. He's a smart guy. Smart guy. Okay. On update, what are we gonna do? We are going to take a look at our memory tracker, which we don't have right now. Memory tracker is a pointer to memory tracker. Probably a ponce pointer, which means that we probably need the memory tracker here. Okay. Cool, which means that this guy needs a memory tracker here. Which means that we need to import that thing. Which I think is from svimp memory tracker. Yeah. Okay. So this guy needs to be initialized with something. Do we have like now anywhere? No. Instant now. Okay. I guess we'll do it like this. So the now doesn't leak out. That'll be confusing otherwise. Break block memory tracker in it with. I guess maybe we kind of like this GUI arena, maybe we call it like full app, like full app, full lifetime arena or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right, because this is kind of like saying like this thing's gonna be alive for the entire lifetime of the application. So just fucking go crazy. Sample period milliseconds. So here maybe we sample once every 1,000 milliseconds. And now is now. Okay. So then here we pass in the memory tracker here to the memory widget. And then I guess we just go, when we create the sidebar, I guess this memory tracker register sidebar, and we want to register like full lifetime. And with ampersands here probably. And this is sidebar dot handle removable content arena. Nice. Okay. Cool. And then here we every frame just do memory tracker step. And I think we just say at the beginning of each frame, we have like now is now. Okay. 21, what at memory tracker? Yeah, this can be const, that's fine. Area unit is ignored at 19. All right. Control D, we see our triangle. Right, but we're not actually doing anything with it yet. Okay, so what is our memory widget going to do? I guess we probably want a scrollable list of graphs, right? We probably want like everything that we want to, every arena, we want to show a graph for it, which probably means that like, yeah, we probably have like, okay, so what's our widget hierarchy? We have scroll area that then below him has like something that's like name graph, right? So that's going to be a scroll area which will have a top level layout, each, or maybe a property list. Does property list allow us to like set row heights? How does this shit work? Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. So I think that we end up with a property list, which is like a key value table that we have, where the key is name, value is a graph. I think that makes sense. And then probably somewhere we need a way to like close the overlay. So we probably need some sort of like, maybe up before the scroll area, we have like a layout with a close button, then the scroll area below or something. You know what I mean? Probably it's something like that. Sure. Sure. But maybe we just start with the graph. Maybe we pretend that we just draw one graph. So it kind of makes me feel like the graph has to be a widget as well. Check this one too. Oh yeah, this one was recommended to me recently as well. Another fucking banger. This is really good. Yeah. Um. Okay. So what am I doing here? The graph is one instance of this guy. So I guess we're gonna have some sort of like shared graph state. Every graph is going to use the same program, right? So this program probably lives under there. I guess we could kind of tie the graph to the memory widget for now. That's kind of fine. We can kind of do this. That's fine. Um. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have like a widget that is a graph that's gonna implement some sort of vtable as well. Okay. On update, he's gonna do something for sure. It's probably like the graph is going to know which index he is, I guess. Which index in the memory tracker? Yeah. Okay. His size is probably going to be fixed. Probably every graph is going to have like a desired height. I think that's probably fair, because if we're gonna like make a scrollable list of them, right? If we have like a list of like, we're gonna have like a list of like arena graph, right? Arena 2, arena 2, a different graph. Each of these is gonna have like a fixed height, I think. And then as we get more, this just becomes like scrollable. So we're gonna say we have some height. And so that means that on update, we're probably gonna try to fill the width. We're gonna try to fill the width of our parent. So that means that we're going to have width here as a U31, I guess. And let's quickly, get these functions in order. Okay. So dinit again. What are we going to do here? I don't know. We'll figure it out. For now, we'll assume nothing. It'll kind of become clear when we start making this thing. Render. Here he's going to be like self is a graph pointer from the context. Okay, and then what? Then what? I guess we're gonna render some buffer. So my suspicion here is that the buffer itself is per graph. Each graph is going to have its own buffer. That's kind of how it feels to me, because each buffer is kind of representative of like the line that we're drawing, right? This is one buffer. Okay. And presumably we want to render it in the widget bounds. So can we do like, there's like GUI, util, widget. There's supposed to be something in here that lets me like calculate the transform, widget to clip transform. Yeah. So here we take wherever the bounds of the widget is, and the window bounds, and that lets us kind of resize all of the elements in our buffer to go to the right spot relative to the widget. So I think that's good. It lets us do like transform inner or something is how we do this, I think. Okay. I think that makes sense. We update the buffer on update. So on update, we probably say like fetch most recent data. It's like self. We need to have self here. This get size returns a pixel size or a width of the stored width and height of the fixed height. Okay. That's chill. Okay. So on update, we're going to be like, first of all, the width is the available width. Chill. Then we have to go like, let's update our buffer with the new data. So we're going to go like for the memory tracker elms items at our memory tracker index, right? We're going to go here. I guess we could do this. Const elm graph elm is this. Okay. We're going to be like, let's go over the samples. And for each sample, we're going to have to put this as like a vertex in clip space, right? So probably we're actually first going to want to find the max. Yeah. So I wonder if we just feed the raw memory values into our like OpenGL buffer, right? Our OpenGL buffer, we're gonna have like, I guess we try to set -1 to 1 as our x, and then we allow y to get like as big as it fucking wants, maybe, and then maybe because we don't know the maximum size here until we've iterated, so we could stash the maximum size and then apply that to the transform to automatically get that for free later. Maybe we do that. Ah, fuck it. No, we just rip it twice. I don't want to think about it like that. So max sample is 0, and max sample is equal to the maximum of sample and max sample. I just don't want to think about it. Okay. So now we scale everything according to the maximum sample. Yeah. And then I guess that means that our graph needs to have like we have to have like axes somewhere. Or we just write the current value. If we write the current value, we can kind of figure it out. That's probably easier for now. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably easier for now. Yeah, it's fine. We don't have to get crazy. We're already spending way more time on this than is reasonable, but it's fun, so fuck it. You know? Okay. So for each element in here, I guess we are going to put that into some buffer somewhere. So we need some sort of like scratch allocator. We need some sort of like scratch allocator that we can use. I mean, I guess we kind of know. We know that this thing is going to be... We know the size. The size is like, from the memory tracker, however many samples we have here, we need that many vertices. So there's in the memory tracker, there's num samples here. We can just fucking slap this up here as a public. Right? Because then we can go, we need memory tracker num samples elements of our vertex that we're feeding into our GL land. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So verts, I guess, is this. And I guess we have to do these things in the right order. So we provision for this with ordered, which needs to be public, which means this needs to be public. And probably this should be public as well while we're at it. Why not render the graph directly in the fragment shader? Why would I do it that way? I don't even know like what the way to do that is. You would have to, for each point in the fragment shader, you would have to check which sample you belong to by like looking at some uniform buffer or like some texture that you've bound that represents the graph content, and then you have to calculate for each pixel where you belong. It just seems harder. This just seems easier to me. Ordered elms is this. So I guess we go like var out like vert index is a u size that's equal to 0. That's where we're writing into verts here. So I think we take the first half of this thing. Here we do like verts at vert index is equal to sample, and then we need to convert this to like our OpenGL space, which we're going -1 to 1 on y. So this has to be like, can we do max sample f here is an f32 float from int of max sample, and then we can just do const sample f. It already is probably no. Float from int of sample. Then we do sample over max sample f. And then this is 0 to 1, so then we multiply this by 2 and then subtract 1. And that should give us something that has big values at big y values, low values at low y values, in the range -1 to 1. Seems reasonable to me. Seems reasonable to me. Okay. Then we increase the vert index. And then we do the same thing for the second half. And we'll just slap a fix me on here. Duped with above smile. Okay, so now we can just update our buffer with this new data. Like this. Yeah, sure. Sure. That seems pretty reasonable. So we should probably only do this. We only want to do this update if it's changed. So probably we check like last update index. And we say like if last update index is not equal or is equal to the graph element index, we have no work to do. But if it's different, then we do all this. And then we say self last update index equals index. Boom. All right. Graph element index. Okay, so that seems like pretty chill. So now we just have to like instantiate this thing and run it. So I think what we'll do for now, is we'll just assume that there's one graph, because that's easier for us right now. We'll probably, I guess we'll make it here for now. For now. We're cheating a little bit. Okay. So parent is equal to memory to self, I guess. Memory tracker index is going to be 0. Width is going to be widget bounds width. Buffer is going to be self program var buff self program make buffer. Then this guy gets that buffer. And then last update index is 0 or something. It doesn't fucking matter. We're just trying to test that this thing works at all. Okay. This thing's pissed. He doesn't think this works. Did I lose the program? I did, somehow. Vert and uniform. Okay. Okay, so can we do, like, graph render? I guess we need to call update first. With the available size. So we'll just use widget bounds, calc width, and calc height. We're really hacking it right now, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So we update the graph. Alcohol Q. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. What's up, buddy? Calling you buddy makes it sound like demeaning. I didn't mean for that. Okay, and then we render it with the widget bounds and the window bounds. Okay. I feel demeaned. Yeah, sorry. What you gonna do? Okay. Let's see if this does anything interesting. No field name buffer in memory widget. 50. Yeah, true. True. Okay, so no field name update. Oh, right, because it's not like that. It's, fuck. Graph update like this. Boom. Capital G, baby. And then error unit is ignored, so catch return, I guess. Doing well and also enjoying winter weather and some programming as usual. Dude, it snowed here. It snowed here, and my dog went nuts this morning. She loved it. Right, so this thing expects a vert. So I guess we need to find the x position as well. So our x is like vert index over num verts, both as floats. So num verts, which actually should already work because this thing is a comp time int. So now we just need to do as f32 float from int here, and then we do the same 2.0 times this minus 1.0, and this is the x position. And so now this is the y is this thing. And then our verts is actually b pause equal to this. There we go. So x equals x, or it's just xy, I think, like this. And then we copy paste this into the second block. And let's see if that behaves any better. All right, looks like that compiles. Let's see if it does anything. So I hit Control D here. It looks we're seeing flashes of triangle, which is a really bad sign. That's not what I want to see at all. Like, how is that triangle even happening? Because we set the fucking triangle params here. Which means that this graph update must not be updating the buffer, but it is updating the buffer. So it could be that, like, it's not syncing well enough. Yeah, it's interesting. That's interesting. I thought that would be fine. Oh! Wait a second. We also need to we need to do these as triangles. We need to do these as triangles, right. So our lines can't just be these points. They need to be the line segments that make up those points. Of course. Of course. So how do we do that? We need to like we need to iterate point pairs and then make this. Ah, what a pain. What a pain in the ass. It's no one knows Queen of Stone Age. Okay, I guess before doing this, let's just do like something that makes a line segment. Maybe we'll call it push line segment into set line segment. And this is going to take in a slice of verts. Yep. And we're going to take like an A and a B. Okay. Simple. Okay. And then we have to figure out how to do that. So this is going to give us a point here, a point here. So we get this line. We have the normal line by just going 90 degrees. And so we go like, so we say like const AB is B minus A. We have normalize AB, and then we flip the axes. So it's like const norm is equal to a vector 2 that is, I think it's inverted y. This, then you rotate this by a little bit. So you get x. This is like your old y becomes negative x. Yeah, x becomes negative y. Yeah, so it's negative AB1. And then your y value. No, wait, hold on. Am I fucking mental? Hold on. It's our x value big. Our new our Oh, what am I fucking doing? I'm getting confused. I'm trying to do like just like a straight inversion, right? So I'm taking this vector and I'm moving it to here. Yes, which is what I drew 50 times already. So I have small y, big x. This becomes small negative x, big y. Yes, so that y is AB1, 0 here. Yeah. Okay. So it's like kind of like this. Kind of like this. Why not just do point by point? Because each point needs to turn into a rectangle. Because in OpenGL, I guess you have GL lines, but I don't really want to do that because it's like one, it doesn't work in WebGL very well, but which we don't have. But two, just because like my abstraction just renders triangles. So it is what it is. We're just gonna do it this way. Okay. So if we are going like this, we have a perpendicular thing, which is this, right? And so the first triangle is going to be this. So we have to go up and down in both directions by some amount. And the first triangle is going to be this one. So first we do A plus, we probably want some sort of like amount here. So can we do like adjustment is norm times splat. I guess it's easier to do like vec2. Something like this, and we're going to do like, I don't know, 0.1 for now. I'm sure that we'll change that later. So we go a plus norm. Yep. I guess we just do it like this. Yeah. And so then our output vertices, it's six vertices. So 0 is equal to so we go 0. This is, what is this? This is A. This is P1, P2, P3, P4 is what we've drawn. So we want to go 2, 1, 3. And then we want to go 2, 3, 4. Yep. There we go. Easy. And then we actually want adjustment here, not norm. Okay. Chill. So can we then, just for a testy, can we do, let's do this. If false, we do this shit. Otherwise, we'll do var verts is 6 verts. And then we'll set line segment from like negative, like negative 0.5, negative 0.5 to 0.5, 0.5. Yep. With verts. Okay. Then hopefully now we see a line that goes from the bottom left to top right, like kind of like quarter in, quarter up. Nice. It's a little sloped because we're working in non-square space, but that's okay. I do not like the triangle that we're seeing flicker there. That's kind of a problem. Like fucking annoying. But oh, that's probably happening because IDX occasionally equals 0. That's because of this, which won't happen later, so that's fine. That's fine. Cool. Cool. So now we should be able to do the same thing here. I think we obviously want this thing to be skinnier. Like, a lot skinnier. Maybe 10 times smaller is reasonable. Yeah, that's a lot more reasonable. And you could even scale this with the aspect ratio, but fuck it. I'm also just going to remove this for now, but we'll bring it back. Okay, so what we have to do now is we have to iterate all elements, and I guess we are going to be like making line segments, right? So the number of vertices we need is num samples times 6. Okay. We're going to go, we have to keep track of the last element. Which I guess is going to equal to -1 by default. I guess we go, it would be nice, I guess. It's actually nicer if this ordered elements thing returns an iterator. That's easier. That's way easier. So let's just do that. So it's gonna return a usize. Optional. He's gonna have like item is an item, right? He's gonna be like my index is usize equals 0 probably. Then we do like every time we do something, if index is greater than or equal to num samples, we return null. Otherwise, we defer index plus equals 1. And then what do we do here? It's like self item samples at self index plus self samples. Yeah. Something like that. Self item index. Then we mod this over num samples. And that should wrap it in the right order. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Cool. Cool. So now that makes it so that we can just go like while ordered LMs next. Do you use something like GLFW to open a window, or do you interact with the X11 API? We're on Wayland. We're using GLFW for now. It is in like the docket at some point to do it by hand. We have like a Wayland client that we've written before, but it's like if I wanted this to work on like X11 as well, then I'd have to like add a little wrapper for the X API and stuff. But I think it's like doable. It's just I haven't done it yet. Okay. So that makes this easy. Now we go last element just is, I think we just probably, oh, we still need to calculate the max element here. Oh, which we've done above us still? Okay, so we're chilling. Okay, so it would be nice to kind of yoink this out and say like, can we do like memory sample to clip? What a weird conversion. But this is in fact the conversion. So we take in sample and the vert index and max sample f. And then we return x, y. Boom. Okay. So we can go, this is memory to sample to clip of ordered LMs next. And we assume that this will work because it's the first one. Now he also needed some other stuff, right? He needed the max sample f. And then he needed sample. So this is sample 0. Yes. Okay. So which means that vert index here needs to start at 1? No. Okay. We'll think about this. Okay, so now we need to draw a line in verts from last element to this element. Right, so we kind of do this. Vert index over 6 probably. Sample and max sample f. That sounds about right. And so then we draw from last to this. Uh-huh. And then we increment by 6, which means that here, yeah, I mean, this needs to be verts from vert index to vert index plus 6. I think that's right. Someone showed some love and some of your VOD links in Zigcord last night. Made me think there's many who don't know about your channel. I think posting VOD links in streams or BTW would be welcomed. Okay, nice. Thank you. That's very kind of someone. And yeah, maybe I should. Marketing's not my strong suit. I'm just here to code, man. But maybe I should. Sounds kind of right. This might be -1. because there's one less line than there are points. Okay, let's try this and see what happens. I assume it won't look right, but next is not marked pub. Fine. Fuck you. And then I guess here we do have to return like it's probably like this. Fine. Ordered LM's next is pissed off probably because this thing is to be var. Yeah, I always forget. This guy's pissed because he expected an array of verts. Oh, because I put an ampersand here. Like a dum-dum. A slice is a slice, if you think about it. Okay. Yeah, so we're seeing jack shit here, which is not good. Not good! Can we just do like any to any of last LM this LM? Let's just kind of see what kind of garbage we're spitting out here. Yeah, okay, so that's that explains it. So what's happening here? We're dividing by... How are we ever getting infinite y? Because max sample f is 0. Which is kind of strange. That's surprising, actually. It shouldn't be. I don't think. If it is, that's crazy. So we're trying to look at the removable content arena. Oh, because there's no drags. Okay. So we need to make sure that we show 0 well. So I guess here we'll just say if max sample f is less than, you know, some epsilon, return 0, else, or it's just 0 here. Okay. So that solves one half of this thing. The fact that every single x value is -1 seems like a fucking problem. So that means that this is always going to 0. Do I have to do this? Is there like some bullshit happening here? I don't think so. Is it that I'm just passing in 0 here every fucking time like a dumbass? Oh. Oops. Oopies. Ah, wait, okay. That's more reasonable. Okay, they are still all 0 though, but if we... Okay, can we make it so that if we hit escape, we leave the debug view? Else if key is equal to... probably escape is its own thing. We reset the overlay. Okay, let's try that. So we do need an escape key then to do that, which means that our key callback needs to look for escape. All right. Right, okay, so hit Control D, this thing pops up, we go back, and this thing will only show any memory usage if the, if we have a drag float, this guy. So now I go here, and it looks like we have 1.0s everywhere because it's scaling to max memory usage, right? Which is not really that helpful, right? It's not that great. Um, it is kind of crazy, I guess, that if I do this, oh, there we go. We don't see him updating, which is a little bit of a problem. Are we not, we are stepping the memory tracker? Is 100 too many? Maybe, oh, because it's 100 seconds long. Maybe we want like 10 seconds. Okay. So we hit Control D. We see basically this. We go to the circle. We hit Control D. We see the white line kind of fixed at the top, which seems kind of bad. Shouldn't we be seeing some sort of like change in behavior over time here? I would think. The fact that this is just constantly at 1.0, like immediately, seems like a problem, right? I would have thought that like here it's like 0, right? He's just fixed at 0. I like open a thing that has a float dragger, and he should be like, uh-oh. And we should see like sometimes at 0, like then like a shifting thing over time, which we're not seeing, which makes me confused. Is our memory tracker? So we go over each element, we check the capacity, and we set that sample now. But only if, oh. Fine. We do have to update the last sample time. That's a really good point. Okay, so now he's 0, and then we go here and we click on something that adds a drag. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now we go back to something that has no drag floats. And what I would hope to see is that it would go down. But I guess it's because we're resetting with capacity the same. So I guess I kind of... I guess maybe if I just in the sidebar, when we reset, if I change this to free all, we would probably see that shit reduce. So we could click like circle, see the spike, then go back to something else, see it drop. Oh, that's a really good sign. So that means that like, oh, sick. And depending on like which thing. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. That's working like approximately correctly. Approximately. I don't know if I really want to put more work into this widget right now. To be honest. I might, it's kind of like a mega side quest. We might as well finish it. I guess if we finish it, there's a chance that we can post this on the main channel. Or like, yeah, we might as well. We might as well. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, what are we gonna do there? I guess we have to make it so that our widget here, inside, he needs to hold a scroll view. And I guess first, let's turn graph into something that can turn into a widget. Okay. Do we even? Yeah. Do we even? Sorry, I'm just thinking for a second. So this guy is going to return GUI widget UI action, I guess. This guy kind of has everything he needs to update himself as he needs to, right? So does our top level render even need to exist? We might not. We might only need the graph widget. Yeah, it might be. It might be. Because everything else, I guess we need something to update which elements there are in the layout. Yes, that's what we need. So this graph widget, he needs to update the property list if the memory tracker number of elements is changed. That's what his job is. So he's going to have some sort of like property list, I guess. I guess. And we on update are going to check how many things we are tracking. Yes. Right, we're gonna look at something like this. We're gonna be like, I don't know. what does our property list look like? He's got like an items field. We have push widgets, we have clear. I guess we will just check for now. This is like not the smartest way to do this, but it's good enough. We can say if self property list items len is equal to this, we don't really have any work to do. But if they're different, then we probably clear the property list. And he wants to be cleared with some allocator, so I guess we need some allocator here. We'll think about that later. Okay. I wonder if the property list should just live here. Probably should. Probably should. Maybe not. I think that the property list is going to be, well, let's see, as widget. So there's no allocations here. Yeah, so he can't just live here. Self deinit. Does he expect to be like destroyed self? So he is very much expecting to be owned by the widget system, and he's expecting to be a pointer. Okay. So this is a pointer here. Okay, kind of confusing, but whatever. So we clear this thing, and then we say like, what? For each element in like, for memory tracker LMs, can we just do this for a second? Okay. So for each thing in the memory tracker, we want to feed to the property list a label. So how do we do that? It's like GUI label make label with our allocator. What else does he need? Text retriever. So the text retriever is going to be the way to like, we need to like extract the text from the element. So this thing might not have a stable memory address. So we need to make like a name retriever using memory tracker, probably, and then index. So we need to be like, how do we extract the name for this thing? That's pretty straightforward, right? It's just like we have the memory tracker, which is a memory tracker. We probably don't even do this, to be honest. We could do like memory tracker elms. That should, that's also not stable. Yeah, we'll do it this way. That's fine. Okay, and then it's like get text, I believe, is the API call here. So I think it's like this. And here we're just like return memory tracker elms items at self index. Boom. Name. You sure seems to know a lot? I don't know about that, but I've definitely coded before. I've coded a bit. I know what I want. Okay, so then this guy, is that like it? Shared. He needs some shared state. So here we need to hold on to that somehow. GUI text shared is GUI text shared state. Okay. That means that we make the label. We can feed that here. Okay. So then can we just duplicate, can we for now just double up? Just because I don't really want to, I just want to see if this works. So can we push widgets given the allocator and the label and label 2? Okay. Unused capture, elm, yeah, true. Okay, let's just see what this does. I mean, it's not going to do anything yet because we have to actually use the property list. So do we do like... Do we just call update here directly? Seems kind of reasonable. That seems kind of reasonable. Which means all of this actually goes the other way. So we kind of reset the property list here, but we call update unconditionally. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. This is ugly, but whatever. Okay, so we have some property list. So I guess now we just return self property list get like this. Everything kind of goes through the property list. And our render function is probably also just like render the property list. Yeah, that feels kind of good. That feels great. I'm not gonna lie. Property list is equal to try, I don't know. GUI property list of a UI action initialize the allocator and shared property list style, I guess. Is that what this is? Style, I guess. Prop style. Property list style. Or prop style. I don't really know what goes in here, but we might find out that we have a problem here. We might find out, but this is fine for now. Gotta ask about the title. Are we aiming for no errors or just no error handling? Is it UB day it? We're shooting for removing as many error deferrers from our program as possible. As much as we can. By using allocator pools and stuff. Basically trying to like push the happy path and the sad path into the same exit conditions. Right? Like if you have... Which is how we got into this memory tracker thing. We kind of we're on a side quest, but like, if you have, you know, some function, and he takes an allocator, I guess, and we do like, we make some pool, like by doing like arena allocator init alloc, defer pool dinit, right? Because surely everybody who uses the pool will be done here. If we then do like, do some stuff, right? And in do some stuff, we use the pool allocator, right? What happens here is like whether or not do some stuff succeeds or fails, we want to deinitialize this pool, right? If we did not use this pool, we would have like function do some stuff, right? He's failable. He takes an allocator, right? And in here, we have to go like alloc create thing, right? We have like, oh fuck, const x equals this, and then we do something else like if condition return error, oh no, and then like return x, right? Like, let's say this is the case. Now, if this thing was not pooled, we have to go error defer here, alloc destroy x, right? Because we don't know, like if we don't return x from here, it's like invalid for us to not free it. But if the case where if allocator is like a pool, we just delete this, right? And this defer pool dinit like solves a problem for us. So that's kind of that's what the title was talking about, is trying to do that type of thing. But then we got distracted about like trying to visualize memory limits so that we don't like fuck ourselves up, but it's still related. We just want to make sure that the arenas that we're using aren't like growing forever, because we're kind of losing the leak checking of the general purpose allocator, you know what I mean? Okay. What's this? This is context equals self. Okay. Memory widget init at main 385 is pissed off that he's missing like alloc, probably like full lifetime arena allocator, probably. I don't know, man. And then like we have the property style, so can we use just like widget factory, which is a bad name for this now, maybe, and then property list style here. Is this a pointer? This like this. We're missing stashing of the allocator, which is a little bit scary, to be honest. Yeah, because this allocator is used on every time we update this shit. But it's almost like we want like our own arena here. Like graph, like prop list arena. This is kind of what I want. If we're following the pattern here. So maybe we want like prop list arena is an arena allocator based around this allocator. There we go. Then we use this guy here. Everyone's happy, probably. Hopefully. Okay. GUI text shared. We need this as well. GUI text shared state like this. Okay. And then we need to be careful about using self alloc here. So here, everywhere we're using the prop list alloc is self property list arena allocator. Okay. Now we can use this everywhere. Okay. Reasonable. Cool. And then I guess here we just reset the allocator as well. So how do you like do both of these things? I guess you just don't. You kind of just reassign this thing, huh? Or you like clear this first, then reset the arena. I guess is technically fine. Yeah, this is fine. I think. I don't know. And this is kind of fun. We can actually track our own. We can actually add this to the things that we track. That's kind of fun. So this is like memory widget arena. It's kind of funny. And this needs, oh, what, widget factory GUI text shared or something? Yeah, something like that. No field len in 124. Whoa, which one is he pissed about? Oh, what the fuck? Items. Items. Double items len. It's kind of funny. Area union is ignored at 143. True. Area union is ignored at 147. True. Fuck. Compile error must have get text. So name retriever must have get text. And I think we did do that, but I think we need to make it public for it to work. There we go. Okay. So we crashed. That's hype. That's hype. It's on property list, push widgets, append. Use seg faulting. Probably because we've like fucked up. Whereas this is in update. Push widgets at 143. 143 in memory widget. Yeah, so it's here. I wonder why. I wonder if you have to like... I wonder if like resetting the arena invalidates the allocators associated with it maybe? Or maybe we just don't... Maybe we just don't use that reset for now and it probably still kind of works out. I would love to fix it, but... Okay, cool. So now you can kind of see in the corner here. You can kind of see that we have the names of these guys in the corner, which is kind of sick. Now clearly the right side of this thing needs to be way bigger. So I think we actually want different styling for this than for everything else. I think the property list, I think his style has, yeah, he has like kind of like, how fat do you want the right half to be? So this kind of works. This works the way it is if we put the graph on the left side, which is just like, fine. Fine, I'm not going to get too picky about this. I'm not going to be too picky. Okay. So I guess we are going to allocate this right now. So this is like propolis alloc create a graph. Then we have graph is equal to whatever. This stuff. Okay. So in here, parent is our memory widget. So this is parent is self. Cool. Memory tracker index is I. Width of the thing I guess starts at 0. Buffer, we need to make a buffer. Okay. And the last update index is totally fine to be 0 with me. Okay. So now this guy needs to be graph as widget. And then ownership goes into the widget system, so it's fine. Okay, D init widget, he's pissed. Because, yeah, this is like this. And then I guess we actually have to do the D init here. There. Okay. Okay, so now we can definitely see some stuff here, which is pretty sick. Right, we can see sidebar and full lifetime and memory widget arena. These guys all have some graph associated with them. Okay. Now what? Now what? I guess it's kind of nice if somewhere we need to write down like, well, first of all, we need to fucking put some background here. Maybe it makes sense to actually do what we were doing before, where we actually do a GL clear because I'm kind of feeling lazy. There's a better way to do this, but this works good enough for now. And can we just clear this thing to be like black with alpha like 0.3 or something? Okay, looks like alpha blending probably isn't on. Which I don't know really why it wouldn't be. It is on. So why am I high? Should clearing not... Does clearing not respect alpha? Like, the fuck? GL clear alpha. The framework for alpha value will be taken into account. Ah. Sure. Alright, fuck it. I don't know. That's fine. We can just make it full black. That's good enough for me. I don't give a shit. Because we can always just leave it. It would be kind of nice if this was a little fatter, but it's also fine. And then we also need to fix it so that the scaling of the graph makes it so that the right side is like it's like in the wrong spot. So it's probably in here. The X position just needs to be over num samples -1, I assume, for this to work out. That's a little better. Maybe even -2. Yeah, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. And then I feel like 10 seconds isn't like enough for what I'm looking for. So can we go into the memory tracker and just increment this to like 50? 50 seconds seems fine. Yeah, there we go. We should probably take the aspect ratio We do need to take the aspect ratio of this thing into account, I think, because the lines are way fatter because it's assuming that the graph is square, which it's not. But that's, you know, also fine. How is this shit sometimes closing? I have to click twice. That's kind of funny. That's fine. It doesn't matter. There we go. So we can see the sidebar start to take more and less memory. It's kind of fun. And yeah, okay. I mean, that's like not great, but it's not awful. It's like workable. I can like I can understand it, which is huge. Eventually, this will need to go into like a scroll view or something, probably. But good enough for now. Good enough for now. Enough for us to keep working, I think, without feeling too worried. I think this is a good checkpoint. So we have this guy. And we'll say, I don't know, starting to clean things up. I don't know. Whip, memory management simplification. Okay. Cool. So now we have a way to make sure that we're not going like just super out to fucking lunch. And now we can go back to... I wish I had some way to visualize this code base. Yeah. I know. Now we can go back. We're confident now that in the sidebar, the drag float, this like arena in the sidebar is like working correctly. That's what we have like confidence of right now. Because we see the usage going back to 0. And it's not like going up and up forever and ever. Which is good. I wonder if it makes sense for us to just render the sizes of these things in their names. I think that probably makes sense. We might as well. So just like in get text here, we can have like a buffer that's, you know, probably like, how many characters do we need here? Like 200 probably. And here we'll just be like, self buff. We're going to print into this buffer. So we're going to be like something like this. And if this thing fails, we just return the buffer anyways. I guess, probably. And then what do we print into here? It's the name and it's samples at self index -1. But I guess that's a little bit tricky. So let's just do last sample, which is going to return a usize, and it's going to be like self index, I guess, plus num samples -1 is the better way to do this, because then you can mod this by num samples, and this should give you the right index. Probably. It's probably something like that. All right. So now, hopefully, missing field buff. Fuck. Buff print needs self buff here. On a real note of the project and went a lot. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. So now these guys are saying how much memory they're using. It seems like probably doing some sort of dude. That's a really big number. Right? That's a really big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 18K. 1, 2, 3. No, wait. Kilobytes? Megabytes? 18 megabytes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 megabytes? There's no way. There's no way. If it's 10 megabytes, that's fucked up. So clearly, I don't understand something. First of all, can we do like bytes? Is there a standard library function to get like the postfix of like zig standard lib? It seems like the type of thing that might be in there that's like, get me like a human readable megabytes thing. Probably not. It's not even worth looking for. I don't even know how I'd find it. Format int size bin. Wait. Oh, wait. Format size bin. Oh, wait. That's sick. Oh, fuck yeah. That's crazy. Thank you. How do you find this shit? I guess you just read stood format. All right. Yeah, 20 megabytes here is crazy. And it looks like it's just going up and up and up. Yeah, so we're definitely, this is like we're leaking. Right? That's like what this is saying. This feels kind of okay. This one feels like it's leaking. Which makes sense. Okay. So it's probably something like we were expecting to clear this property list allocator here. I wonder if it's that on update of the fucking GUI text, it's doing something stupid. I guess we'll see. Is this thing failable? No. Oh, I guess if we reset the property list arena, the property list itself is in that arena, which is wrong. That probably doesn't help. The property list arena is for stuff in the property list. So then we clear this thing, we reset the arena for everything below, and then we re-add, and then maybe that's okay. I don't understand. That's kind of fun. Does Valgrind work in this world? If I run Valgrind on this, will it tell me where the fucking allocations are coming from? Pretty sure you can do d.1 format size int bin. Oh yeah, to make it like not fucking like a million digits. Oh, this isn't worth waiting for. This isn't worth waiting for. Oh. Yeah. Not worth it. Not worth it. We just gotta figure out. It's weird that like is someone using this when they're not supposed to? So where do I use this like prop list arena? It's literally just here. It's for the label here and for our graph. We know if our graph is doing allocations. He's literally only allocating himself. Right? So there should be absolutely nothing there. He doesn't like stash this shit, so he literally can't use it. So make label is a little suspect. So this guy is using like the allocator to update text on it with a K. So he like regenerates text with this allocator occasionally. And this regenerate, he gets some text, he lays it out, and then he makes a text buffer. And then he replaces all of this stuff, and he is correctly tracking this. But I wonder if like the arena is like struggling to keep up. And then the 20 megabytes before that's crazy. There is something there I don't understand. Can we like I wonder if we can if the arena's struggling to keep up. I mean like if like he's failing to reuse space before for whatever reason. If it's like always going up. If it's like always appending to the end of the arena, then like maybe the capacity is like growing and growing. Are you trying to free memory from an arena? I mean the arena I did check, it does have like it does have dinit tracking. He does have like you know, he does have like free lists and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look closely. I was under the impression that this worked okay. But if it doesn't, then we have to adjust. If it's the most recent free, I thought. I thought that that was on the... I remember seeing that on the fixed buffer allocator. I remember seeing... I remember seeing that on the fixed buffer allocator, which is kind of like what some people use, like consider arenas to be. There's this guy. And this guy definitely is like, if you free memory here, it's only if... Where is it? Is last allocation. So my understanding from like just briefly glancing at it was that the arena should behave the way I was expecting it to, but I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It could also be that like it immediately grabs a lot of memory. Oopsies, I don't want to use Valgrind. Right, these guys are like ripping it up to 20 megs no matter what. And then here... Oh no, the sidebar one's only 1K. The 21 megs on full lifetime seems really reasonable. Like, it's this memory widget arena that seems kind of sketchy. Oh, I was looking at dinit, not free. God damn it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, then we do have to just be a little bit more careful here. I mean, we can fix this, though, probably by text, just not reallocating every time. We can just update... he can... First of all, this maybe wants to use, like, a scratch allocator, which might be a little bit easier. Maybe we do that, where, like, the GUI text takes in, like, a scratch alloc. This probably, maybe doesn't live here. Maybe it does, though. Maybe saying that the GUI text, you know, himself, he lives somewhere, but you like his scratch buffer is shared everywhere. Everyone uses the same scratch allocator. Maybe that's right. It probably isn't. It's probably not. But I don't want to fucking propagate this everywhere right now, so. this regenerate. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out, but let's try this for a second. Oh, wait. Hold on, that doesn't work either. Okay, so can we make it so that when we regenerate the text, we just reuse the existing shit? This duped text has to happen. Ugh. Couldn't you create a scratch from the past in arena? Can you? Not if we're saying that freeing sub arenas is like not doable. You know what I mean? It might even be that making arenas from arenas is fucking stupid here. I'm not sure. That's probably fine. Yeah, maybe that's not the play anymore. Maybe that's not the play. So maybe maybe. So I have to be careful here with this make sidebar thing then. This is silly. Because like before I thought that the free was working, but now I know it's not. Which means that we need GPA here. And yeah, how does this work? It's weird to pass in like I guess we could just pass in like another arena here or something. Ugh. Gross. Because this guy has like, I want to make a sidebar who lives for the lifetime of the app, right? He has that constraint. He also has, I want to hold an arena. I want to hold an arena that I can kill every time I change my contents. Those are kind of like his two constraints here, right? So that does kind of seem like you're like, okay, you live in here, and then can we just call it like, yeah, I guess you just have to pass in the general purpose allocator. It feels like the only way. Oops, by allocator, oops. So then we create this thing out of that thing, but we initialize him with the GPA. Oh, that's gross. Not the biggest fan. Not the biggest fan. But let's just try it. Uh, Okay. Nobody like gets mad when I die. Okay. So now we still have to figure out. At the very least, we're not getting like infinite incrementing stuff here anymore, which is good. That's good. Although the fact that we're using 20 megabytes here still seems really concerning. So I would like to still look at that. And it's probably still related to that like GUI text shit where he's like reallocating himself all the time. And we're probably not resetting the arena in that case. Yeah, we're not. So it's probably something along the lines of Bump, 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 bump. Where is that, like, okay, let's just, like, take out label generation here. And I think that we can use, like, null widget is GUI null widget make null. Okay, so then we can use the null widget for the label here and see if that, like, removes the bullshit. Oh, but now we can't see. We can't see the size anymore if we do that, which is pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. So can we do something about that? Okay, let me think. Let me think. Can we just, like, let's just fucking print it somewhere. So this is lm name and lm last sample. And what was it? Stood format, format int size bin. And then do we new on here? Okay. Yeah, that's way better. Way better. Then I bring this thing back, and it just, like, fucks everything up, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so it's literally opening the widget, makes the memory widget arena take up 20 megs, which is taking up, like, the entire thing of the full lifetime arena, which is confusing to me because the memory widget arena I thought isn't really, like, what is causing that? What is causing that? It must be us clearing our property list, maybe, like, a lot, maybe just once. No, because the property list was fine. It was the generation of the label, which is using the property list allocator. And oh, right, of course, we have the same problem here, the same fucking problem. So again, we're like, hey, we have, like, which makes me think that here we, like, want to pass in the general purpose allocator, but that feels, like, weird. I don't like having to think about it at this granularity. $40 megabytes? $40 MB? Dude, that's crazy. And yeah, it's just because the label is, like, reusing this thing all the time. So I guess if we just don't do this, we might not even need this arena, to be honest. At this point, I was just trying to play with the idea. But I actually think that, like, I do think that if we just use the normal allocator, everything just kind of works, is my assumption here. We can find out in a second. Because this clear will kind of, like, free everything below him. This creates a graph who on D init does destroy himself. So like everyone's kind of chill. Yeah, seems kind of reasonable to me so far. And then we just have to make sure that on here we do it. But otherwise, I think it's probably fine. We'll just make sure that there's no leakies. How big is the TTF file? Oh, it might be pretty big. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, like not that big. Yeah, I mean, I suspect it's like some mismanagement of the arena that I was making here, which makes sense. Okay. I mean, we have something. So let's leave this the way it is for now. And try continuing on the path of adding stuff to the other arena. Oh, also the TTF shouldn't even be, or sorry, shouldn't even be on that arena yet, to be honest. Oh, wait, this is crashing. We're not all good. We are not all good. Panic, panic. It's on like the free path. When we're de-initting GUI text from specific object properties in the sidebar. I see. Oh, gross. So we tried to make we were trying to do this in stages where we added like we were like, okay, we'll use this allocator for this drag float, but not use it everywhere. And we're like passing allocators everywhere, which makes this a real pain in the ass. Because when I clear this like specific object properties thing, he's like a layout who holds the drag float. And in like drag float here, he de-inits, he like uses, oh no, wait, he should use his own held allocator. Then what's the problem? Is it because the sidebar? I'm actually kind of confused now. Hold on. Maybe somebody is de-initting in the wrong order. It's possible. It's possible. Your widget factory is going to have create its own pseudo allocator so that it can de-init itself on widgets add or remove. I'm going to try to remove that thing from the widget factory entirely. I was just trying to find a way to get there like incrementally. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who is the culprit here. Main 576. So we're being like, yo, it's time to update some properties. So we'll clear that thing. And by clearing that thing with this allocator, we're making it all the way down into layout ginit. And is it just that I did this in the wrong fucking order? That seems kind of likely. That actually seems kind of likely. Yeah, so this clear will walk the tree, and then people are going to try de-initting relative to this arena. So we just have to do it in the other order. Pretty sure. And then incremental progress should still be possible. So how do we trigger that? We like click we just started like spam clicking on this stuff. Okay. It would be nice to actually be able to like force the problem to come back. So we brought this here. And it would be nice to like keep track of exactly what I clicked to get into that state. It was probably just like I clicked circle. Yeah, it was just circle then checkerboard. A lot of this makes more sense then. Ah, nice. Okay, cool. Okay, so it was circle, checkerboard. Now we're chilling. Okay, and now the drag float is still using that arena, and we just want to make sure that like we see the sidebar guy, you know, increasing, decreasing depending on which widget is available right now, which is good. That's pretty good for us. And yeah, full lifetime. I guess should we see the full lifetime one change? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. We are seeing some leakies come back from the arena itself. Oh, because this handle probably needs to de-init his arena later. Right, because fuck. What do I want? What do I want? That's the question we have to answer for ourselves. So like it would be nice. What I was hoping was that I could make like a hierarchy of like memory allocators. That's kind of what I was hoping. I was hoping that you could have like, hey, I have like everything. Everything. And from everything, I might say, yo, as a subset of everything, I have sidebar, right? And as a subset of sidebar, I have like all of this stuff. And I might just like crash, like shit this stuff out the door every once in a while. Right? We go, fuck everything below us. We don't want that. And I would love to also have the ability for like everything to also just nuke the sidebar and everyone below him. You know what I mean? And so like the idea of the sidebar arena coming from the everything arena was like nice for that. Because it meant that like, because now with what I have to do is if I want an arena for this stuff, fuck, what did I just do? If I want an arena for all of these nodes, I'm kind of saying that like this sidebar now has to have D in it. There's no other option here because the allocator that is behind this guy is the general purpose allocator. And it's like the whole point of this exercise was to try to like make it so that the memory management goes up and up and up. So it'd be nice to see maybe there's something in Zig's standard library that can help us there. Right? But if there's not, maybe we break for the day and swing back tomorrow to write an allocator. Maybe that's the play. There's not. LOL called it. Yeah, you did. You did say, you said within 2 weeks, right? Earlier, you're like, he's going to write a memory allocator within 2 weeks. But we're kind of... okay, so like, what is this? Memory pool sounds kind of... This is single type. That makes sense. Fixed buffer, I know, is not what I want. Arena. What is check? Oh, that's the output of the general purpose allocator. Page allocator? I mean, that's like maybe like we might have to just make something on our own. And so like what is what I want even like feasible and like a thing people do? It feels like it should be. What I feel like what I'm asking for doesn't sound crazy. I offered the over under because I knew 2 weeks of the max time before you came and wrote your allocator. The problem you're trying to solve is that it's leaking. No, the problem I'm trying to solve is that like I just don't want like guys down the stack to be worrying about freeing memory. That's kind of the problem I'm trying to solve at like a high level. And so I thought that arenas were the fix there. I guess like kind of like the root problem here. I guess the root problem here is that I'm trying to like fix this stuff, right? Where I have like error differs scattered around the whole code base, and I think that I can not have them if just all of these guys don't care about freeing their own memory. And so I'm kind of trying to be like, okay, can I like set up like regions of memory where I say, okay, these guys have like this region, and somebody will take care of it. They don't have to think about it. And then I just feel like I want subregions. That's all I want. And if it's maybe I'll do some greeting offline. I think that's probably the play. I think that just me just like slamming my face into the standard library right now is not like worth watching. So I think we call it there. We probably come back tomorrow and we'll figure out what I want to do, whether it's write in my own allocator or use something that exists. I think you want an arena that will rejoin memory regions. Yeah, it kind of feels like that. It does seem like also you need some sort of like tree tracking, like you said, where like I want something that nukes all of his children, but we'll figure it out. Have you read the articles on Rings by Flurry? No, I'm kind of just like winging it. I like experimenting, so maybe I will though, because it does seem like I need to know like what people do at the very least for inspiration. All right, cool. I will think about it. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll do some more. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, we stream most days at 12:30 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It's 3:10 now. We're ending a little early because I didn't really have much of a plan. So if you're all watching live, that's 2.5 hours ago ish. 3.5 hours ago to now. What time is it? 3, 2, 1, 2.5 hours ago. What else? I guess that's it. YouTube, peace out. Twitch, let's find someone to raid.